Welcome back to the channel here at TradeSG. My name is Sammy. Today, I think it's time to have a conversation about Bitcoin. And yes, Bitcoin is right now at 98,000, just broke the 99,000 mark. I think it's very important to have this conversation because if you guys know, I speak a lot on ASST, and ASST is a Bitcoin holding treasury company. So, in this video, it's going to be quick, snappy, and educational because I want you to see what I see and what other TA traders like myself all have been seeing for literally weeks out. And if you guys take a look at my X account, I've been preaching about certain bearish indicators about to pan out, and thus we are seeing it play out. So like the video, subscribe to my channel, and join the Discord. Again, this will be very snappy, so I want you guys to bear with me. Google every terminology that I speak on here, so that way you, as a regular person or Joe Schmo, can understand what we are talking about. First off, I want to start off with a head and shoulders pattern that we've been eyeing for literally weeks out on Bitcoin. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. We have a descending broadening formation here. That's bearish. So we have two bearish indicators. Two bearish patterns, excuse me. We have this neckline off of this head and shoulders that we have to hopefully price action to sit above. That failed it multiple times, if you can see here. We also have a sharp harmonic completion at the 94,790. If price action comes and continues to break down, which it seems it is, that's a bearish engulfing. We have indicator targets, potential reversal. We watch for terminal candles, but the point is that we are looking at down momentum. Okay, this is where it's going to get a little freaky here. I'm going to turn on the daily and I'm going to turn on the EMAs. Another bearish indicator that we watch is this potential impending death cross, impending death cross. When the 50 SMA converges with the 200 SMA. That's about 4 or 5 indicators that I just gave you, and I can keep going because we can use Bollinger Bands that are tightening up, the MACD crossing the signal line underneath the center. I can keep going to ADX above the 25 center line, and with the ADX curling up, again, I can go on and on and on. Folks, we're watching Bitcoin, and where do we see Bitcoin going into the future? Because that's generally what everybody wants to know. First and foremost, you need to turn on your weekly time frame for those charters, TAers, and I want you to notice this blue line. That's the 50 SMA. If you go back in time, what has the 50 SMA acted on? Support on the weekly time frame. Support. Go back in time again, and this time frame was roughly around March 2025 and April. Go back in time a year before, in September 2024. Price action candles, August 2024, August 5th, support. Price action candle here, September 2nd, 2024, support. Support, and then we made new highs. Folks, we are now hitting that 50 SMA, and clearly, this candle is very, very volatile to the downside. But the good thing is we have 5 days left to print this weekly candle. So we can absolutely have a wick, maybe a hammer, and make a new higher high. But where things are looking at, I don't think so, personally, in my opinion. This is a different time for Bitcoin. There are cycles, I'm sure you heard, but this time there's a little bit more eyes, more liquidity, more people exiting and entering trades. The whole entire world is on top of Bitcoin, crypto. So, is the 4-year cycle intact? Maybe. But I do want to note something where we can potentially have a crash. A crash, in a sense, I like to call it more of a retracement. But when you hear the word crash, at least here on this channel, it's called a retracement. Because what I'm about to show you next is something that a lot of people are not talking about, especially amongst your friends. If you don't have friends that are day trading or crypto maximists, you wouldn't know about this. But we most likely have a potential crash target around $56,000. And I'm going to tell you why. All right. 56,000. If the cycle is true and stands true, we are looking at 56,000. That's right, folks. We're talking all the way over here. Why do we say that? Again, there's 1,000 ways to come to this conclusion. But if you turn on the monthly time frame, what have you seen the 50 SMA acting as? on the monthly. Support. 50 monthly time frame. Acted as resistance, but somehow we found a mean and we rode above the 50 SMA on the monthly and we found a bounce. Let's go back all the way, and this time frame was roughly around 2022. We have 2023, September. Let's go back in time here. 2020, March of 2020, bounce on the 50 SMA. Let's go back in time here. It never really touched, but it almost significantly, it was not too far off. It was roughly around 6% difference, but you notice that price action stayed above the 50 SMA. If price action were to continue downwards, if we fail the 5, the 10, and the 20 EMAs, which I speak all the time on my streams, as you can see here, we broke above the 5. All right, just bear with me. We broke below the 5, excuse me. We broke below the 10. Right now it's price action. And if we break below the 20, well, your next area of support is roughly, on a macro scale, is this 50 SMA. These are the 5, 10, and 20 EMAs. Again, we're looking at 55,000. Price action will adjust itself, but this will follow suit. So roughly wherever the 50 SMA, it could be a month for 2 months from now, it could be 57, it could be 55. Wherever the 50 SMA rolls up, that's where we are looking at as a potential bounce. I'm going to show you another trick Turn on your, open up the RSI and turn on candle structure into Heiken Ashi. If you guys know or tune into my streams, I like to take some time, look at patterns, and ask the chat, what patterns do you see here? Regardless of the answer, I always give them a reply within a minute, but I give chat the time to respond because I want you guys to understand and learn patterns, especially if you're going to look into day trading or technical trading. I'm sure most of you understand this pattern if you're tuned in, but if not, what do we see here? That's right. A head and shoulders. Here's your neckline. What has been a previous, if you notice the RSI, it's been a pivot zone around this range. We're literally at it again. This neckline is everything. And we are at it. We're touching it as we speak. Bitcoin, we know what we've been talking about for weeks. We've been literally expressing ourselves on X, and most of us have been promoting Bitcoin is showing bearish indicators. This is not worrying me at all because I am looking at layers. I anticipated this, and if anything, I'm a little bit happy that it's actually panning out, because I want to say that I've been screaming this at the top of my lungs. Some folks have been listening, some folks haven't. But in this video, it's finally time to have this conversation because now we're below $100,000 on Bitcoin. Guys, please pay attention to the chart before throwing your hard-earned money on a volatile asset. Right now, we're at a very, very critical inflection point on Bitcoin. And if we sustain it, then you can absolutely, count your blessings that we're going to make new higher highs. But the key factor is that we got to hold that 50 SMA weekly. Okay, we got to hold this 50 SMA weekly, which is roughly at, I'm going to tell you right now, at 103,000. We got to be above 103,000 on the weekly. Because if we break below the weekly, boy, oh boy, it's not going to look good. It's not going to look good. So this video was more educational. Hopefully you guys learned. You guys see what I see, understand some of the technicals going on. I can go on a rant for an hour talking about technicals, but this video was meant to be more snappy, direct, and straight to the point because people's time is valuable. Thank you so much for thank you so much for watching this video. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, and join the Discord. Thank you.